Hey, welcome to the Virtually Speaking podcast, coverage of VMware Explore 2025. It's been a great week of conversations with customers, partners, all kinds of talking about the announcements. John, how's your week been going so far?
It's great. I think I may have actually had too much coffee, and I'm starting to get some heart palpitations going on, so...
Man, I can always count on you for a good segue. That's fantastic. You know, you're in luck because we've got a great healthcare company with us today. Joining us to share their move to VCF from traditional ESXi is Mary Washington's Healthcare, Mike Miller. Mike, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
First and foremost, how's your week been going?
Oh man, it's been amazing. There's so much to do.
Yeah.
Going to different just sessions and going to the hub. There's almost too much.
Yeah.
There's a lot to take in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's exactly
I'm
right.
Very surprised, very happy with how this year turned out so far.
Absolutely, yeah. So we were talking a little bit earlier about what you guys are doing over there at Mary Washington's Healthcare and your move. And I'd love to just start from the beginning. Maybe let's just start with what you've been doing over there. How did your career trajectory go there that brought you to the point where you'd actually be making these types of decisions in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I started with Mary Washington Healthcare about 13 years ago. I started on the midnight shift help desk.
Midnight shift? That's like the worst.
Well, I'm the only person, middle of the night, systems are going down, and I have to figure out what's happening, who do I have to wake up. Was a little bit of a nightmare for the most part, but it brought me to where I am today. So I worked from help desk to desk side support. So I went to the land of the living, the day shift, and now I am the IT systems architect for the organization.
So, I mean, that's a fun arc. And I personally also kind of started doing help desk also, as I called it. But I love that journey because I've seen people who come from that. They often have an empathy for like the end customer, the end user internally of your systems, because you understand the impact of the decisions that are being made higher up the stack. So, what were some of the lessons from that, and how have you carried that forward?
Yeah, some of the lessons that I learned from it were when I'm on the call and the calls coming into the help desk, it isn't just a simple password reset. At the end of the day, I hear the nurse, I hear their tone of their voice. If the system's down and they're on the verge of crying, I need to know, okay, this is more than just having to get the system back up. This could actually be somebody's life, because there's one instance, middle of the night, I get a call from the OR, the operating room.
Oh, wow.
Nurse is on the phone to me saying, the system's down, I can't get in, what do we do? And in the background, I actually hear a heart monitor of a patient on the table being operated on. So that really brought things into a better perspective for me, that this is more than just IT, it's people's lives. And that's really what made me want to do what I do.
Wow, that's actually pretty powerful.
You know, a lot of the stories we hear about people trying to improve availability, it's like, oh, it's so I can sleep at night, or I can have, easier maintenance windows, but this sounds a lot more serious. Walk us through some of the journey, going from, your environment, what you've done to increase availability, to make things more resilient, and hopefully get fewer of those calls.
Yeah. So once I got out of the help desk and I started working my way up, I got to a position where I can start influencing the various technologies that we have that we're bringing into our organization, and really seeing the back end of how our systems are set up. And I immediately noticed, okay, we're on a pretty legacy type infrastructure where there have been a lot of hands in the pot, making changes that one person made one change that may have conflicted with another. And there has to be a better way to make sure, because with a hospital system, we have to be up 24/7, 365. There is no downtime that we can do without it somehow impacting an end user, which are our patients.
Yeah. So then what were some of the steps you took from a VMware perspective, like moving, what did you start at, and maybe we can walk to where you are now?
Yep, so partnered with our VMware support team, essentially, our sales team, said, hey, this is what we have. They knew what we had, said we have a budget. What can we do to fix this from both a VMware software standpoint and then a hardware standpoint? We also partnered with Dell for our servers.
Okay.
So what we did was we looked at the overall environment as a whole to figure out what are we missing, what gaps do we have, what observability can we not see? And we came to the realization there's a lot that we can't see, a lot of metrics, a lot of just health of the overall system. We're very reactive opposed to being proactive. So we decided we were going to go from a legacy infrastructure of having your servers and your servers and your storage separate. We went to a hyperconverged infrastructure through VxRail.
Yep.
Did that simplify things quite a bit? Or?
Oh my goodness! Going from spinning disks to all flash.
Oh,
first
yeah.
of all,
That's a change in itself for sure.
That was an immediate finding that we saw with our applications. Like analysts would start coming to me and saying, "Hey, my application, it's much faster. What did you do?" And my response was, I just migrated it from our old system to the new.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of the hardware standpoint, on top of that, with the VMware standpoint, we had not gone live with VCF yet. We were still doing your traditional vCenter and ESXi with the VxRail. We did bring in at the time, vRealize operations, vRealize suite, which is now VCF operations.
Correct.
When we brought that in, we were able to start seeing these metrics that we never were able to see before.
Visibility.
Yep, visibility. And we could see when an analyst is putting in a ticket about my server is having slowness or having issues here, we could see it in a graph and see the logs, and we're like, okay, this is what we have to do to fix it.
Yeah.
See, that's powerful, because I know healthcare environments, particularly if you're like running a VDI environment, there's a lot of layers there, and trying to get that visibility all the way from the end call up. What all I guess applications or metrics were you looking at building that on top of?
Yeah. So we were at the time we were in the transition from Sorian to a new EHR, electronic healthcare record system called Epic. Our Epic system is hosted by Epic in their data center, so we were able to start bringing down a bunch of apps that we have. But with Epic, if any of your viewers or listeners actually use it, they know that there's a ton of integrations that you need.
Yeah.
Hundreds. Well, we still had to have those servers running. So we started utilizing the metrics and looking at these mission critical systems that needed to be up to take care of our patients. Primarily our radiology systems.
The PAC systems.
Yep, the PAC systems, the cardiology systems, and our laboratory systems.
John knows all this stuff because his wife's a doctor.
I may have gotten a call about a lack of access to hyperspace this earlier this week. So no, I understand that trembling in voice.
Okay. Does your wife as well count the seconds between clicks and how long it takes to get something done?
Yes, and there may be some interesting words used if it takes a while to pull an old chart. So
fair enough.
That's always a big thing that we're looking at too, is how fast can our end users, our doctors, our nurses get to what they have to do. Once they click on something, if they're sitting there waiting, that's an issue, and we have to figure out how can we make this faster? Because less clicks, faster time equals more patients that people can take care of.
Absolutely. Yes.
No, it's an efficiency, but also I find that just the temperature in the room goes down if people are not waiting on that stuff.
Yes.
And it's sometimes I like that time between click and response. Like that's something that I know there are some within some of those healthcare systems ops, there have been apps and dashboards people have created and done that, but that is something I don't think enough people think about across other areas just beyond healthcare, is how do we actually watch our app performance and do that. So
yeah. So then you moved on to VCF, and I'd love to hear a little bit about that story and what that looked like.
It was a single pane of glass for us. The SCDC manager with VCF, it took care of my certificate updates. Being able to go from something that would take a month to take a couple hours was amazing. Like when I brought in VCF and I had to apply and change out the certificates, it took an hour, and that was it. Like that's going from creating the template in Active Directory for the certificate authority, attaching it to the actual SCDC manager, and then deploying. It has, the phrase since COVID has been do more of less. It has definitely allowed us to do a heck of a lot more with less. Password rotations as well. In the past, we had one password that never got rotated, never changed, because it would take months to take care of.
Was it written under the keyboard?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Written on the keyboard, on notepads and the PCs.
Well, and these are things that large organizations would have huge operational teams to do this, but there's a lot of critical environments like healthcare that did not have the labor resources or the OpEx and are even under tighter pressures than ever before. And increasingly, you guys are getting hit by threat actors. They're not giving y'all an easy time. And so we need to be able to find that. Hopefully, I always joke that VCF for us is about, on these features, these capabilities, it's about finding that Venn diagram, that overlap between hard and boring. And that's where there's a lot of value of no one wants to go grind through a million certificate updates or
Yeah.
password changes or.
And also with the automation of VCF, it allows for that human factor, the human error factor, where say somebody might fat finger a password that they're changing.
Yep.
Being able to just have the passwords automatically rotate every 90 days, my security team loves that.
Oh, absolutely.
Regulatory auditing, they love it because we're constantly getting audited. I'm always have an email in my mailbox about, okay, we need to know your process on this, this, and this. And being able to show them, here's how all the passwords have been reset.
Built into the software.
Built into the software.
But we're all being held to a higher standard.
Yes.
You know, looking at this career arc, you know, from help desk to architect, you know, you wanted to hold things to a higher standard, but you're being held to a higher standard.
Yep.
It's great to see that we're able to work together to bring those tooling to help with that. So
Yeah, I'd love to finish with, you know, for folks that are considering moving to VCF, like what with your experience, were there any lessons learned, anything that you would recommend folks, or any suggestions for folks in terms of the preparation, the deployment itself, or were there any things that you learned from that process, that experience?
Yes, don't deploy it by yourself. Yes, there is a ton of documentation, ton of information that VMware has, but reach out to your partners, reach out to VMware for professional services.
Yeah.
Get the best practices.
Yeah.
Do it right the first time. That's what I can really tell anybody is make sure you do it right the first time, because then you'll be set up for the rest of its life.
I like it. I like it.
That's good.
That's a good way to end it, man. Michael, thank you so much for joining us on Virtually Speaking. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week here at VMware Explore.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Bye.